Welcome to the greenhouse, guys. Today is the day. We're going to be taking everything out, cleaning it floor to ceiling, cleaning all the stuff, and putting it back in. And we might even be doing some rodent abatement on top of that. So join me for a very full day, potentially 2 days, worth of this project. Next week is the beginning of massive seed starting. So now is the time to get this thing all cleaned out and ready for all those new seedlings. So every year I do a clean out of the greenhouse. I also do one in the spring, but generally the fall or just before fall is when I do a major one. In the spring, I need to come in and get rid of all the cobwebs and things like that. But this is a big one. And this is the first time in the 3 years that we've had the greenhouse that I'm going to take everything out. Usually I take all the small stuff out, but the tables and the racks stay and I clean everything down. But this time we're going to empty it completely. Because we've had so much rodent activity in here, I'm going to get everything out, get everything away from the walls so that we can see what we're dealing with. We might end up installing a mesh apron and bringing in new gravel to raise up the level in here. So we'll see. I'll see what I find. I'm not sure how active the rodent has been because I haven't seen any more destruction, and I'm not noticing activity on the pathway here when I walk in the morning. So this is a boardwalk that's in this because we are on a gravel base. And it's so funny because I didn't realize I had purchased the boardwalk and it showed up and I thought, oh, that was extra money. I kind of wish I hadn't gotten that. Immediately I was happy that I did, because when it rains heavy here, this floods. The floor floods, the gravel, and the boardwalk is above ground. It never gets underwater. So it's always nice to be able to come in here and work. Even if the floor of the greenhouse is wet, I have a dry place to stand. So to give you a little tour of the disaster that is the greenhouse and what we'll be doing, let's start over here on the left-hand side. So this is this is a seedling bench. I do all kinds of stuff on here. It's plant staging. It has a very large seedling heat mat, so that will, I can set trays of seedlings up there and they can be heated while they're germinating. And underneath are crates full of pots. We've got 6-packs and 4-inch pots and all the stuff, 6-inch pots, everything, so that I can propagate and bump up seedlings. But as you can see, it's a mess because the rat, I'm pretty sure, has been living back here. And so I'm going to be wearing gloves and a mask today. There is all kinds of rat urine. That's what these dark spots on the wood are, as well as rat feces in here. Now, we had the professional out yesterday to look under our house, and we're going to start doing abatement for that. But he told me, he said, rats do not carry bubonic plague in America. Mice do. He said, so if it's just rats in your greenhouse, you don't necessarily have to wear the PPE. But I'm doing it anyway because I don't know. And secondly, I don't want to touch the rat poop and the urine stained stuff. Gross. So yeah, I'm going to be doing that. It's not just bubonic plague. Hantavirus is another horrible disease that is carried in the feces of, I'm not sure, I know it's mice, but I'm not sure if rats carry it as well. I didn't ask him about that. But people get exposed to it by cleaning and stuff, and then you get the rat poop gets kind of powdered and aerosolized, and you breathe that in, and then you've got the virus. So, I got used to wearing a mask during the pandemic. I'm just going to wear it to protect myself in here now. And definitely the gloves, because gross. That's what this table is. We'll pull all this stuff out. There's also very large spiders in here, so that's another reason I'm wearing gloves, because I don't want to get bit. And hopefully I can find them before they find me. So all this has to come out, and as well as all the stuff on this shelf will come out. We'll take this table out and everything on it and clean it up. It's already up on risers, but I'm going to find some more risers and raise it up. It's a little too short for me. When doing seed starting, I would like it to be higher. So we'll be doing that. taking everything off the walls, not the rack itself, not the shelf, but like all the tools and everything. Those will get cleaned. This all stays. This is part of the greenhouse. There's a socket box here, and then this is the runs to the solar panel that runs the fan in here every 20 minutes. So all of that will stay. But anything on the floors coming out, all the old rat traps, traps that have been in here forever and still have not been sprung because they're smart. So this guy yesterday, we learned a lot of really crazy but cool things about rats yesterday. He said the reason that snap traps work for a little while and then stop working, like you stop catching them, is that what rats are neophobic. They are afraid of new things. So what they do is they send out the youngest or weakest members to go check something out. And if they die or if they get, caught in a snap trap, whatever, then the senior rats go and mark that with a pheromone in addition to their urine that tells everybody stay away. So they're super smart, and they also mark with a pheromone, hey, here's the entrance. Hey, here's the great place to go. So when they find a way under your house, they mark that. Everybody else knows that's how to get under, or in my case, the greenhouse. And so when you seal something, a structure for rats and mice, you need to seal the entire thing, because if they can't find their way in the place they used to go, they will search for another way. And if they can't get in on the ground, they will climb and get in through the roof. So super smart creatures. I mean, I don't mind that they're living here. I just want them to leave my stuff alone. Back to the tour. We will be taking out these racks. I want to go through stuff. I know there's spiders in there. I'm not excited about pulling that down. There are chicken, brooder supplies in here, just a whole bunch of stuff I need to organize. We'll take everything out, hose it all down, and, clean everything out. All these racks. I have 3 racks here with a ton of stuff on them. All this is coming out. And then when the whole thing is empty, we're going to tackle all of the spider webs that are everywhere. And there are a lot of them. I usually go after them with the end of a bamboo stick, and I end up with a big lollipop of spider webs. I know that's gross, but it works. So all of that needs to come out as well. And then of course I'll have, a garbage bag full of stuff that just can get tossed, things we don't need anymore, or things that have been destroyed. So that is the plan for today and probably tomorrow. I think this is going to be a big project. Plant wise, all we have in here are a few succulents left. They've been kind of destroyed because the rat actually was eating on them for a while. You can see some of these have been, all these back here got eaten. So when they're hungry, so all of this needs to get cleared out. And then the only other plants we have in here right now are the seedlings. So these are for the vegetable garden. This is all broccoli and stuff. I really need to go out soon, but I don't have a safe place to put them out front yet. And then these I just started last week. It's red Russian kale and 3 different varieties of rudbeckia. So not a lot of plants in here yet, which is a good thing because it's about to get packed. This is week 35. Week 36 is the big seed starting week. It will be thousands and thousands of seeds being started. And so I want all of this to be clean. I already have clean trays, although I do have another big pile over there that needs to be scrubbed. Not so much trays, but a lot of 6-packs. So yeah, this is basically the prep to get all that stuff done so that when I do come in here to start seeds, it's going to feel great and be all nice and organized. And I won't feel also like there's a bunch of creepy crawlies all around me, because right now that's how it feels. Okay, guys, I'm just going to set you up to watch the progress, and hopefully at a bare minimum, I can get the whole thing emptied out and we can readdress the gravel situation and maybe start hosing off the racks. But I don't know that I'll have time to put the whole thing back together today. We'll see. around Tony's home. It smells really bad. I'm going to put my mask back on as soon as I'm done here. Check this out. So I've been pulling out the crates that had, you know, all the pots and everything, and they're full of rat poop and pee. It's disgusting. This is what a nest starts to look like. And then look at this down here. Just big tunnels. And as soon as I pulled this out, he ran off. He's huge. I've seen him on our camera multiple times. Very, very large rat. So we're gonna, and you can see back there, there's a hole beyond that pipe. They can go in and out from outside. So they've really excavated all of this. Definitely need to bring the tables out and everything, re-level the ground, fill it all in with more, well, first we'll put down a big apron of hardware cloth. It goes up the sides and across the floor. And then we'll bring in more gravel to fill everything in, and then they won't be able to dig in from the outside because they'll hit that that mesh, and then there'll be gravel as well. So it was really gross. At least I was pretty sure that's where he was living, but at least we know for sure. So disturbing this greatly is most likely going to mean he's not coming back tonight, but I'll have to do major cleaning and stuff. I will definitely not be getting this put back together today because I'll have to go get hardware cloth as well as gravel. We'll have to get a couple loads of gravel to fill this space. It's a 9x12 greenhouse. So, okay, back to work. Holy cow. Okay, so this is the big giant pile of things. We are almost completely cleaned out. 2 remaining things in here are a problem. The metal rack is too tall to fit through the doorway. I can take it apart, which I think I'm gonna have to do. This, I remembered we built the top outside, then brought it in here and attached the legs, so it won't fit through the door. So we're going to have to work around it. But the ground is supremely uneven, especially back here. I mean, you can see the deep furrows and the big piles of, yeah. So going to get in here with a rake and try to start leveling some things out. And then it's going to be put down some hardware cloth because we definitely have to block the entrances, and go get a whole bunch more gravel, and then try to level everything out on top of the hardware cloth and start rebuilding. This is definitely going to take more than a day. All right, first I'm going to go eat. It is the hottest time to be in here. The sun is directly on it. So I'm going to take a break and talk with Mike about plans on what to do, and then we'll go from there. So I need a new battery anyway. I've made a lot of progress. Emptied everything out, put down the hardware cloth, stapled it to the wooden sides all the way around, and added gravel. Now we do need about 4 more bags of gravel to finish this, but that's okay. We're gonna do that tomorrow. It is getting late, it's dinner time, but I've made so much progress that I'm gonna keep working until it gets too dark. So what I'm gonna do now, basically all I've been doing now is finding locations for things, placing them, cleaning them off before I place them, and I've got a pile of stuff on the lawn that needs to be like scrubbed down. So that's all stuff that will happen tomorrow, and it can sit out there and get hit by the sprinklers and not be a problem. So what I'm doing now is just cleaning things off, putting the mats back in. I did some reorganization though. So I moved this seedling table. Used to be right here by the door, and I've moved it over here on the back wall. Actually really like this location. Underneath is still storage of all the stuff, and there's still a slot there for the pots and things that need to get scrubbed out. So one of the things that's nice about this location is that when I hook everything up, the electricity, then the mat that's going to be on here won't need a separate extension cord and all that kind of stuff to hook in to all the things over here on these shelves, which I also switched the order of. So these two here are in line with each other. The shelves are in line with each other. So now the lights will all line up. Before I had this big rack here was hooked up next to this one, and it was all out of whack, and like the lights were all on weird angles, so it just makes more sense. Also, this one is way bigger and it's better for holding all the supplies, whereas these are better for holding the seedling trays because they're not as deep. So I am tired, but I am feeling great about this. It's so nice to have pretty fresh gravel in here. And the entire floor has been netted, meshed off. So this is a 1/4 inch hardware cloth over the entire floor, and like I said, stapled to the sides. This is what we used out at the farm to keep the gophers out, and it has worked amazing. So tonight when Tony comes back, he's not going to be able to get in, which is going to be great. However, I'm sure he will try. So yeah, we're still going to get more gravel down here, and then I'll be able to put the boardwalk back, and that'll be tomorrow. We're all too tired. The guys are done for the day because they also cleaned the whole house today. Those two, Mike and Dylan, cleaned the whole house, did all the bathrooms, scrubbed the toilets, did all that stuff. Yes, I am a fortunate woman. So they did all that while I was out here doing all this. So they have worked just as hard as I have today. So I'm just going to do the fun stuff, wiping off bags, getting everything undusty and reset in place. And then it'll probably be too dark at that point. So I was going to make a nice, like, fancy dinner, but I'm going to do that tomorrow night because I want to be able to enjoy it. And I don't have time tonight. One thing I wanted to show you, this was so sad when I discovered it. This poor little bird is actually, I found it on one of the racks. It is literally mummified. It's like it's been taxidermied. I don't know how long it's been in here. Quite a while, I think, based on what it looks like, but it is like it's like a taxidermied bird. It's sad. I think what probably happened is that it flew in here during the day one day and it got really hot and it just died. But it has been in here for a while, I think. Yeah, it's sad. So I'll have to take care of that, but I am making progress. There's a lot less on the lawn. I'm going to feel good about this when I go to bed tonight, and it's going to be so nice starting seeds in a really clean, fresh new space. I'm very excited. Hi friends, it is the next day. We have got our final layer of gravel down, put the boardwalk back in, the lights are all set up. It is done. This is a actual makeover. I thought I was just going to be cleaning things out and fixing some rat problems, but I gotta say I'm so thrilled with how this turned out. I still have to wash a bunch of like infected, pots and stuff, but that's okay. This just, it looks so good. I am so happy that I did this. A lot of work yesterday, finished after the sun went down. And it's funny because I got all the lights. I mostly got rigged up and then I realized that like, oh, they're not on a timer. Why aren't they on a timer? My brain was so fried at that point. So I thought it's time to quit. I knew that coming back in the morning, I would be able to figure it out. And of course I did. I had clear, fresh brain and I was able to hook the lights up the way they should be hooked up. So let me bring you inside and just give you a little tour of how things have changed and where everything is. And to see fresh gravel and it's all so nice and clean. There's no spider webs. It just feels good. It feels great to be in here. I'm so excited to be starting seeds next week. This whole new setup, I think, is going to work a lot better for me. And yeah, I'm just excited. I'm so glad we did this. So come on in and I'll just walk you through where we're at. So apologies in advance. Somebody just started up a machine. It's going to be loud next door. So hopefully I can mask some of that for you guys to be able to hear me. So first of all, here is what makes me the most happy, honestly, is how nice and clean the gravel floor is. It just looks so good. Everything's nice and clean. And then our boardwalk, which is funny. I love this boardwalk, but when we put it down, I was like, oh, I kind of miss just the gravel. However, again, even though we added 2 inches of gravel in here, I imagine there will still be some standing water in really heavy rains, so I'm definitely going to keep the boardwalk. So one of the changes we made was this table, this seedling bench used to be right here on this wall where the potting bench is now. And the potting bench was then on that wall just next to it, so they were in alignment. And then I had empty space there, and then we had the racks. These racks have also changed a bit in alignment as well. But I decided, let me just try putting the the seedling table back there, which actually is working out great because I can plug in the seedling heat mat on the same power strip as all the other things, the lights and the other seedling heat, and not have to run a separate electrical out and a separate extension cord and timer and all that kind of stuff. So it works way better. Also, it opens up this area more for some weird reason. At least it feels more open to me. So when I'm potting, I'll be doing all that work here. I cleaned off and organized all the stuff under here, which was very helpful because it helped me to see what I have and what I need. Definitely don't need any rose and flower food. I have 3 bags of that. And it also gives me a much better place to keep all of my soils. So they're in alignment here. I can see what I've got. There's open space to work. And the stool is only there for now. That space there is going to be for the 2 crates that need to be cleaned of all of our 6-packs and 4-inch pots. But otherwise, great storage space under here still. And then this giant seedling heat mat on top. This is for not only starting seeds, but like in the early spring when we have tomato starts in here, it's helpful to keep them on here when they get bumped up into bigger pots, because then they don't, when we get, frosts that might extend into April, they don't suffer for that, because this is not a heated greenhouse. There is no temperature control in here. It is just what it is, which is why we are a greenhouse under the shade of a couple of trees. So these racks, I used to have, I think this big wide one was over here, and all the shelves were misaligned, and so the lights were always on weird angles and everything. So now I've got both of these same size shelves right next to each other. I lined up the shelves themselves, and all the lights are in alignment. And some things are, they're a little wonky in some areas. They're not perfectly level, but whatever, it works. So right now the only things that need light are these seedlings, but all the heat mats are cleaned and work. The shelves are all cleaned. The lights have been cleaned. Everything I plugged everything in and tested it. It all works. Keeping all of our stakes and stuff right here in this little space. And then this rack is for obviously things for seed starting and stuff, but then I have a bunch of vases and things down here. The rest of this will be filled as well with other vases that are out in the yard that need to be cleaned, and some of the smaller succulents, and probably on these top two racks here, I'll be potting up the tuberous begonias to overwinter them, as well as some of the hardy scented geraniums, which are not frost hardy. So I'll get those guys into some, containers where they can overwinter in here, and up higher it's warmer because hot air rises. So they'll be fine in here in the wintertime. And I also have, that is a greenhouse heater. It's real small, but it's real powerful. It actually is the perfect size for this 9x12 greenhouse. And when I run it in here, it has a thermostat on it. So it only comes on if it gets below like 45 degrees in here. So, and that's only if I happen to have a whole lot of seedlings that can't tolerate those kinds of temperatures. So I don't usually run it in the wintertime. It's usually more like February, March when I have the beginnings of tomatoes and peppers going in here. Yeah, so that's the new greenhouse setup. May not seem that different to you, but it is way different for me. And it just feels more spacious. It feels more workflow organized. Yeah, I'm really liking it. So that was a much bigger project than I had anticipated it would be, but I do not regret for 1 minute doing it. I am so glad that I put all that work in yesterday. This just makes me so happy. It feels like a fresh new space, just like it felt when we built it 4 years ago. And I'm just so excited to start working in here. We're going to be doing another big makeover of the vegetable garden coming up in the next couple of weeks. I need to build those birdies beds, reshaping everything out there to try to make it more rodent proof. After talking with the pest control guy yesterday, he's actually a rodent specialist. I think I am going to get some cats for that garden, for our property in general, because they won't just stay in the front garden. But I will never beat the battle. We have habitat for them all around us, lush habitat. And unless we want to strip all of the vegetation from, 100 yards around our house, we're just going to have rats, and that's just the way it is. And I'm okay with that as long as I can keep them away from our food sources, away from my seedlings, out of my greenhouse, out from underneath our house, so that we don't have to worry about disease. And also I can grow a garden and enjoy it. So yeah, I'm going to get ourselves a couple of cats, and it's kind of a good time for that because we're starting to get into hopefully cooler temperatures. We might still have, September may still be a hot month, but it doesn't look like it's gonna be that bad. And they can start getting used to the area when it's cooling down and not burning hot or freezing cold. So I think it'll be good. So that's it for the greenhouse makeover, which I didn't realize was actually gonna be a makeover. I'm just loving it, I'm so happy. Thanks so much for hanging out over the 2 days that it took us to do this project. I really appreciate you watching. I hope you have a wonderful time in your garden, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.